Even if you splashed out on one of the higher capacity SSDs in your Mac, the odds are that it's filling up faster than you can trim it. You can go months without installing a single new app, just minding your own business, using your Mac, and then wake up one morning to find an alert informing you that you're just about to run out of space. With the awesome little MacBook Neo having just 256 gigs of space on the basic configuration, it pays to be a Weight Watcher because those gigabytes pile on without you even noticing. There are plenty of apps, both free and commercial, which will free up some space, but knowing what's taking up all that room is just as useful so that in the future you can avoid these space-consuming pitfalls before they become a problem. Your Mac knows where all your storage went. It's just remarkably shit at telling you. Welcome along to the channel, my friends. My name is Andy Hutchinson, and I'm a Gen X British/Australian technology journalist from back in the day and a lifelong Apple fanboy. I review Apple software and gear the way I've reviewed photography kit for years, which is to say, with no sponsors, no affiliate links, and no particular interest in whether anyone buys anything. This is a proudly shill-free zone. I've got a 1 terabyte SSD inside my M2 MacBook Pro, and it spends most of its life being 90% full because I really need all of my apps. And while I've also got a couple of terabytes of iCloud space and a NAS drive so large I could rent out space to Apple, I must admit that I still struggle to keep my storage situation under control. Sure, I can click around in Finder and right-click on folders and use Get Info to see how big a particular folder is, but that's a slow and exceptionally tedious way of finding out where all the space has gone. And anyway, like many of us, I find it's easier to understand things when they're presented visually, which is the entire rationale behind the two apps we're looking at today, DaisyDisk and Radix. That's Radix with an X at the end, incidentally, not ISH. These apps will generate an easily understood visual map for you, revealing massive, long-forgotten cache files and orphaned AI models. So you can quickly and easily narrow down the location of your missing drive space. And they're not limited to your Mac's internal storage either. They can scan external drives and even network-attached storage, provided it's mounted on your Mac. But while displaying your disk usage in a beautiful visual fashion is their most obvious feature, it's not the only one, and in fact they are equally capable of freeing up that drive space too. So first, let's take a look at the paid-for app, DaisyDisk. Here is the main interface of DaisyDisk. Obviously it'll look very different on your Mac because you won't have these hard drives listed down the side here that I've got. Some of these are directly attached to my Mac, such as data and edits, and these ones are on my NAS drive over on the network. And you can see I've also got Google Drive added there. You can add 4 different types of cloud drive and scan them exactly the same way as you do an internal drive. Let's do a scan on my main internal SSD, which is always a constant battle for me to keep space free on there. I have heaps of apps installed and lots of big data files, video files, that kind of stuff taking up lots of room. And there are some neglected corners of this SSD, which probably contain large, long forgotten files that I can't get rid of. So there you can see it has finished the scan. And we have this beautiful pie chart showing all the different drives, folders, and areas of my main internal drive. You don't have to navigate using this, although you can. You can click on one of these large segments and say, hold on, what's that? And if I hover over that particular segment, you can see that on the right-hand side there, it says Andy Hutchinson. So that's my user folder. And obviously, when you're doing this on your Mac, that would have your name there. But you can just browse through the hard drive by clicking on these items themselves. So for instance, if I click on library, I can see that's taking up 171.4 gigabytes of space. And hold on, what's taking up all the room? There's a few things there. Application support. And I can see that Claude has got some massive files in there taking up some room. We've got Adobe taking up a bit of room there. The Photoshop Beta's 4.4 gigabytes. Now, if I find something that I want to remove, I can just drag it down to this area at the bottom left of the interface. So let's find something we can just get rid of quickly. And what about this database? I don't have this app installed anymore, I know for a fact. So I can just drag it down. And I can continue browsing through these folders, looking for long forgotten files. I've got a load of stuff in Motion templates there for Final Cut Pro. Now you may be wondering if you could mess up something important, delete some important operating system files. And the app has you covered on that front. So here I've gone into one of the deeply nested folders. This is one you wouldn't ordinarily see if you were just browsing your computer. It's called var. If I drag that down, you can see you've got this little no entry icon, and it's required by macOS and should not be removed. So when I've decided I want to get rid of everything, I can just click on the delete button, get a little countdown, and then DaisyDisk will send those to the bin, and that space is freed up. I can, of course, do exactly the same on any of these. If I click on the data drive, which is where I store things like my Lightroom catalog, I can get a quick overview of that, and you can indeed see that my archived Lightroom catalogs are taking up a humongous amount of space, 223 gigs in fact. But you can just drag that. If I wanted to get rid of that, which I don't, then I could just drag it down the icon and free up all that space. Yes, DaisyDisk looks deceptively simple, doesn't it? But there's considerably more going on beneath that pretty interface. You should, of course, exercise caution when deleting files from your Mac. But the app will stop you from accidentally on purpose deleting important system files and turning your Mac into a nice-looking Apple-branded paperweight. It won't stop you from annihilating your memoirs, though, so always make sure you've got an up-to-date backup before running any system optimization app. Now, believe it or not, DaisyDisk is actually $5 cheaper to buy today than when I first acquired it in 2010. And I strongly believe that the $15 single purchase price tag is well worth it. However, there is an excellent open source alternative to DaisyDisk, which is completely free and which offers a very similar functionality. It's called Radix, and here's how it works. You can see from the outset that Radix looks a little bit different, but we've got the same basic deal here. I've got all my drives, including the network drives, over on the left sidebar there. So let's kick this scan off. Now, I know for a fact that this is going to take a bit longer than it did with DaisyDisk, so I will fast forward through this bit. Okay, it's finished. And as you can see, we've got a basically similar layout to DaisyDisk. Rather than having this file and folder list up here, it's down on the bottom beneath it, but it's got the same kind of pie chart setup. I can click on one of these folders and we get a list of subfolders within there. We get the allocated file size and some other basic information. If it's a file itself, we can use Quick Look to have a look at it, but it works in exactly the same way. You can click into these and drill down. So if I now go into Library and then Application Support, and we can see again, there's that honking great Claude subfolder taking up all that space on my hard drive. If you do find a file you want to delete, there's a couple of ways of doing it in Radix. Firstly, you can click on it and then click on this button, Add to Discard Pile, which works on the similar lines to that DaisyDisk system where you can drag multiple items in there. Or if you just want to get rid of that one file, you can click on the Move to Trash button and it will do the same job. Radix does have a couple of interesting little tricks up its sleeve, the most prominent of which is this different display where we kind of get this block arrangement of the files and folders that are taking up all the space on my hard drive. And we can see the same deal here. We've got Claude taking up all this room in Application Support. And if I click out of here, it will update Now, you can save any of the scans you complete and then come back to it and use this option up here to compare different scans. So you'd load your first scan up, and then it would run a comparison, and you could see exactly which folders or files had bloated in size since you last did the full scan. So we have two apps that do basically the same job, one of which costs $15 and the other of which is free. You might be thinking, that's a pretty simple decision, right? But actually, there are clear differences between the two. I'd recommend each of them to a different kind of Mac user. DaisyDisk has been around forever. I've been using it since 2009 when I picked it up for free during one of the legendary Mac Heist events. And it is one of the most streamlined and effective apps I have on my Mac. Absolutely perfectly suited to the task of identifying wasted drive space and, if necessary, cleaning it quickly, elegantly, and easily. It's much faster than Radix, and it has a cleaner interface. It sticks ruthlessly to its core role, and it won't let you delete anything necessary to the operating system. Radix is one for the tinkerers. It has more features, more on-screen furniture, and more impressive-looking information blocks. It does the same core job as DaisyDisk, but includes enhancements such as a tree map viewer and the ability to put two scans side by side to see what grew, shrank, appeared, or vanished. It's also a more complicated interface and is not as fast as DaisyDisk, though if you're optimizing your drives, you may not care. I did also discover a bug whereby the app can't properly count the sealed system files macOS keeps locked away, so it guesses. However, this was a developer-related file, so unless you're coding stuff yourself, you're unlikely to encounter this bug. More importantly, however, Radix needs macOS 14 Sonoma or later, so anyone on older hardware is out. Whereas DaisyDisk goes all the way back to 2017 vintage High Sierra Macs. Both of these apps are capable and useful system utilities that can reveal the long-forgotten corners of your Mac's internal drive, or indeed any drive you have attached to your Mac. They're not intended to replace system cleaner apps such as Mole, Onyx, or Clean My Mac. They're so you can identify problem areas quickly and easily yourself and take the necessary steps to remove offending files if necessary. Effectively, it's a kinder and more considered kind of system maintenance. Useful for when you just want to free up a bit of room and aren't inclined to do a byte-by-byte scan of your drive and then nuke it from orbit. Think of it less as cleaning your Mac and more like switching on the light in the cupboard. And that's what will do us for this look at DaisyDisk and not a root vegetable, Radix. Are you a DaisyDisk fan? What do you think about this open source alternative? Do let me know in the comments section below. Starting to get into my stride on this new channel now. Heaps of excellent content queued up. So if you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Till the next time, guys. Ta-ta.